What are some of the architecture pitfalls or gotchas when it comes to single vendor solutions or buying into a single vendor for a majority of your tech stack? Maybe not everything.
I think more than anything, it's easy to get false expectation or bad expectations of you think that things are going to work together nicely and they don't. A lot of these tech stacks have been built through acquisitions over decades, and just because the same parent company bought that tool doesn't necessarily mean it's integrated, that it was designed with the same stuff in mind. So a lot of the time, I think the problem is really that people go into it thinking these things are all going to work well together, and that's why we chose them, and only to discover that that's not necessarily true. Which is very frustrating. Like that's a big reason I've seen folks use, say, Google Analytics was because they thought it would work best with their other tools, and maybe, maybe not. So that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. It's just expectations.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things we touched on a bit last week is like one of the problems with vendor locker, one of like the alluring factors of kind of buying into a platform is that oh, all of these talk together really well. I'm going to be able to have my analytics solution talk to my testing platform and then also integrate my email platform, and it's going to be able to be really set up. But then yeah, you come to find out that they were all acquired and they have like just the most basic of connections amongst them.
Yep. I'm trying to think if there
Well,
are
well, thinking
exceptions, but
well, and but I mean, not yeah. That's something we brought up last week, right? Is that the connection? So, is it a pitfall, or is it a you take a more deliberate approach to the connecting of things? Because that's something we talked about last week, where a lot of people's like, well, if I go all in with this solution, everything magically works together, and we don't think deliberately about it, and then it doesn't. So, is it a pitfall, or does it force us to think more deliberately about how do these things or how should these things work together?
yeah. And again, it's the expectations. Like if you go in knowing that you're going to have to plan out some sort of integration and really think it through, then yeah, same vendor solution. Go for it. Um, but just yeah, knowing that that's inevitably going to be the case, that you're going to have to figure out how to make the tools work together in the best way possible.